The next three, 4, 5, and 6 say finding the zeros of a polynomial function written in factored form. The zeros of your polynomial function is where x equals 0. If you put it on a graph, it'd be where you're touching the x-axis. So basically, you're going to take each of your factors and set it equal to 0. On this first one, since there's not a variable with the 2, there's really nothing to solve for, so I can ignore that 2 is there. Here I would have x minus 3 squared equals 0 and x minus 4 squared equals 0. Now since the squared's on the outside, technically I would take the square root of both sides and the square root of 0 is 0. So if you have your exponent out on the outside, you can ignore that it's even there. Or you could solve it and you'd still get the same thing. So we're just going to solve each of those. So in this case, I'm going to have a positive 3. And over here, I'm going to get a positive 4. So 3 and 4 are my zeros. Now these ones are called double roots, or they have a multiplicity of 2. Since they have 2 to the second power, they really would occur twice if I wrote it all the way out. X minus 3 times x minus 3. So you may see those terms where they call it a double root if it's squared, or they'll just say it has a multiplicity of 2 since it would occur twice. So number 5, now on this one, you do have a variable with the 5, so I do set that equal to 0. 5x could equal 0, x squared minus 25 could equal 0, or x minus 7 would equal 0. So solving the first one, 0 divided by 5 is just 0. The second one, we have a quadratic expression, so we'd have to factor that one out. X minus 5 and x plus 5. And so we'd end up getting a 5 or a negative 5 with that one. And I didn't put the equal 0 on that one, but on this one, I'd have to add my 7. And so I have 4 zeros on this function. Normally, you have the same number of zeros as you have variables. This one counts twice, so I have a 0 here, 2 here, and 1 there. So, on the third one, if I'm going to solve that one, what should I do?
Divide by 3.
So if 3x equals 0 and I divide by 3, I just get 0, right? The next one,
Add 6.
you get 6. If x minus 6 equals 0, you add 6, so you get 6. And on the last one,
Um, 3 and negative 3.
no. You can't solve it because there's a plus sign in there, not a minus sign. So if you did try to factor that, we'd have to say x and x, since this is a plus, plus and plus, 3 and 3, and we'd get a plus 6 in the middle. We can't get that 0 in the middle. Otherwise, if you solve by taking the square root, you'd have an imaginary number. And so in this case, when it has the plus sign in there, you can't factor it. So you just get 0 and 6.